this episode, the Titans have to free themselves from being locked up in the asylum, hence the episode's name, Asylum. But before that, Raven discovers, and now she knows, she has the power to heal people when she's with that guy they locked up, and he slits his throat, and he says, well, you can heal me, and then, she reaches out and heals him. Now she knows she can bring people, she can bring people back from the brink of death and heal injuries, maybe from death too, because she's done it before, I think accidentally. But now she knows she has healing abilities. So it probably won't be too long until she's fixing up Dove, right? Unless, Hawk or Dove or someone injects her with some serum like what the nuclear family was injecting themselves with, and that's how she gets out. But I don't know. I don't see why Raven can't use her abilities to help, buddies who have been beaten into comas. And speaking of the nuclear family whom I mentioned, it looked like, those people were wanting to brainwash and maybe turn the Titans into the nuclear family, the ones who weren't, at least the ones who weren't Rachel. But of course, as we know, since the Titans broke out, that's not going to happen. And at first, I thought that Robin was going to be the one to, free himself first and then systematically free each other member of the Titans team individually. But no, that honor went to Raven. She's always looked very competent in this series. Maybe not knowledgeable of her powers, but pretty powerful. But she looked pretty, like she could handle some business in this one. She was the one who rescued herself first and then rescued everyone else. Although she may have had it easier because, while they locked up all the other Titans and were torturing them, she woke up in a bed and, the guy was talking to her. So I think that because she's Trigon's daughter, they weren't exactly wanting to subject her to the same kinds of punishment that they were subjecting the other Titans. So, if Raven had had it maybe as tough as Robin, who was drugged up, or, Starfire, who was being, tortured and experimented on, would she have been able to break out? But I don't know. She still did, though, and she saved a bunch of people. She saved everybody. But all the experimentations had me wondering things about each character. Like, when Starfire was being experimented on, well, at first, when she was in that facility and her fire powers weren't working, because I guess the metal was too strong and she was too weak because she hasn't been charged as much, or maybe both those things. It dawned on me that she was at the bottom and it was a pretty high room or chamber. And it dawned on me she can't fly. I mean, of course, she hasn't flown this whole episode, but I didn't think about that until this episode because I was wondering, just fly to the top and try to get out that way. But Starfire flies in the comics, but not in the show. So I'm wondering, is she going to learn how to fly later, or will she never do it because they don't have the budget for it? Not that she needs to. I mean, they can still have her walk around burning people. But, Donna Troy flies too in the comics. And she shows up next episode too. And is she not going to fly because they don't want to spend the money on it? People fly in the DCCW shows. They have the budget for it there, so they don't want to spend the budget on DC Universe. I think they can make it work if they want to. But they also, when they were, cutting her and stuff on the table, the doctor remarked, she has healing abilities. Let's see how much. And I think she was awake to hear that. So if Starfire doesn't know that she's an alien yet, I'm pretty sure it'll dawn on her soon. Although I guess, because that's not normal, but I guess it's not normal for people to be able to shoot fire out of their hands either. So I'm sure Starfire already knew something was up. Even though she doesn't have her memory, it'll probably be another episode or two before she learns or figures out she's not of this world, that she already didn't know. Because she hasn't really, it doesn't seem obvious to me that she knows she's an alien yet, but maybe she does and I missed it. But, it won't be long. And as for Beast Boy, I guess this episode when he attacked, and I think he killed that guy when he was in his tiger form, it seemed to really traumatize him, so I guess Beast Boy had never done that before. And it did make me think, in the comics, when Beast Boy transforms into animals, he still has the mind and the impulses, I think, of a man, of a person. But in this show, it made it seem like when he turned into a tiger, maybe some bestial impulses took over, and maybe he'll be more beast than man when he's a beast. Although maybe it's because he was just angry, had been tortured. Because we've seen Beast Boy turn into tigers elsewhere in this series, and I don't think he was really acting like that. So maybe it was the emotional duress. But, in most comic book storylines, Beast Boy hasn't been, when he turns into an animal, he loses himself to the animal. That doesn't really happen to him. It may have happened before, but, most of the times he seems to be able to, think like, a man and not, like a tiger or a bird or whatever when he's changed into one. So I was thinking, are they going to try to make it like that in the show, where if he stays an animal, he kind of becomes more animal-like in the way that he thinks and impulses? Or was he just really mad because they've been torturing him and it was a stressful situation? I don't know. We'll see as the series progresses where they take with his character and his shape-shifting, how that affects him psychologically when he's in animal form. But I did think about that. And last but certainly not least, we have Robin. Now, the only thing about Robin that, I mean, I like them all, but the thing about Robin that stood out to me is at the end of this episode, he tells Starfire, there's gas in these chambers, just light one spark and we'll blow it all up, to end it and, presumably kill all those people in there who were doing horrible things. But I was thinking, aren't there other patients in that building? And I was like, come on, Robin, you don't know that you're the only ones who are the only innocent people who are being tortured by and abused by these people. What if there are other people in there who need to be set loose? Couldn't you potentially be killing them when they're just still like tied up or strapped to chairs? But I guess he didn't care about that, or I don't know. Did they already know that that place was empty? Maybe I missed that, because when he was in like his makeshift bat cave in his safe house, he was telling Starfire, it's empty and abandoned, or there are no patients, and they see these red dots, there are people in there. Were all those people supposed to be workers, and they knew for a fact that there were no other patients in that facility but Raven's mother? And so since they freed Raven's mother and themselves, they knew there were no other innocent people in there. I certainly hope so, because if he gave the order for Starfire to burn that place to the ground and kill everybody in there, presumably, or really hurt them. I mean, people could still have escaped from that fire, but I'm sure some people got killed, a lot of people. I would hope he would have been certain that there were no other innocent people being imprisoned in there first. So, let's hope. We don't need the Titans to be that gritty, right? But anyways, I still thought it was a good episode, as I always do with all these episodes. And so, let's see. Next week, I think is supposed to be the cinematic or the television, live-action television debut of Donna Troy, a.k.a. the old school Wonder Girl. Will she fly, or will she just jump really high? Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like it on YouTube and subscribe to the channel, because I appreciate your viewership, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.